Good evening, everyone. We are from Group 10 and we are going to present Chapter 15, Advertising and Public Relations. Next, these are our table of contents for our today's presentation. Next, for the first part, I will explain what is advertising. Okay, next slide. Basically, advertising is a marketing communication which a marketer actively promoting an idea, goods, or services to the desired audience. Basically, we are exposed to the advertisement in our daily life. For example, you can see the picture on the right, the Starbucks posters, YouTube advertisement, or the billboards at the side of the road. These are some of the form of the advertisement. Next, for the advertisement, it actually divides into ancient advertising and modern advertising. Basically, ancient advertising usually is a smaller scale, involve local markets, and they are usually more artistic, using singing, poetry, or painting to promote their goods or services, while the modern advertising is usually at a larger scale that involves a multi-billion-dollar business that involves the use of newspapers, social media, or the internet to reach wide audience. Next. So basically, who use the advertising? There are two parties. The business, they are using the advertising to promote products or services. For example, the McDonald's using the posters as an advertisement to promote the burgers such as Big Mac. And for the non-for-profit organizations, they are using it to promote an idea or awareness. For example, you can refer to the picture. They are using the advertisement to promote charity, to raise awareness on the social issues. Now I'll pass to the next presenter.
Now I would like to present the major decision in advertising. Next. Major advertising decision have four important decisions, which is setting advertising objective, setting advertising budget, developing advertising strategy, and evaluating advertising effectiveness and return on advertising investment. Next. Setting advertising objective is a specific communication task to be accomplished with a specific target audience during a specific period of time. It helps to engage customer and build customer relationship by communicating the customer value. Advertising objective can be classified by their three primary purpose, which is to inform, persuade, and remind. So advertising objective can be divided into informative advertising, persuasive advertising, and reminder advertising. Next. Informative advertising used heavily when introducing a new product category. The objective is to build the primary demand. For example, a new brand of HDTV will use the informative advertising to communicate the customer value, suggest new user for the product, build a brand and company image, inform the market of a price change, describe available services and support, explain how a product works, and correct the false impression. Next. The persuasive advertising is used when competition increases. The objective is to build selective demand. The persuasive advertising will build the brand preference, persuade customers to purchase now, and encourage switching to a brand, creating customer engage, changing customer perception of product value, and build the brand community. And persuasive advertising also can be the comparative advertising. For example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. The Pepsi will use the persuasive advertising, which is the long-running Pepsi challenge campaign. The primary purpose is to show that people would choose Pepsi rather than Coca-Cola. And sometimes comparative advertising will create controversy. If using the comparative advertising too often, will cause the competitor dissatisfied and take the action. Next. The reminder advertising is used for the mature product to maintain the customer relationship, remind consumer where to buy the product, remind the consumer that the product may be needed in the near future, and keep the brand in the customer mind during off-season. Next. The second decision, setting advertising budget. The setting advertising budget depends on its stage on the product life cycle. For the new product, the large advertising budget is needed to build the awareness and gain consumer. In contrast, for the mature product, only the lower budget is needed. And for the product with many competition and undifferentiated product, high budget is needed to compete with the other brand. That's all from me. Now I will pass to the next presenter.
Next is developing advertising strategy, which consists two major elements. which is creating advertising messages and selecting advertising media. Next. So these are the elements in creating advertising messages. Next. So the first one is breaking through the clutter. The massive amount of advertising messages that the average consumer is exposed to on a daily basis is referred to as advertising clutter. Television and radio are the two common broadcast media used for marketing. TV ad clutter refers to prevalence of a number of ads in a given show or commercial segment. In a typical 30 minutes television show, only about 22 minutes is actual show. The rest is commercial. Next. The second one is merging advertising and entertainment. Medicine and wine is used to refer as a term that represents the merging of advertising and entertainment in an effort to break through the clutter and create new avenues for reaching consumers with more engaging message. For instance, CoverGirl makeup used branded entertainment to advertise during America's Next Top Model. Entertainment or brand integration are two ways in which advertising and entertainment are combined. The goal is to create advertisement and brand content so interesting or beneficial that consumers desire to watch them. A famous example of successful advertisement occurs in 2012 when Red Bull Stratus shattered live stream records with over 8 million viewers watching, the highest ever jump from a manned balloon. Next is native advertising. Simply put, it is a paid commercial. It what you are often served when you search via Google and see items labeled as advertisement or sponsored. The third one is messages and content strategy. The message strategy aims to communicate the brand to the target market in a creative and persuasive manner. The message strategy is the plan for the production of the advertisement. A creative concept is a big idea that captures audience interest, influences their emotional response, and inspire them to take action. Successful creative concepts are memorable, unifying, and relevant. Some examples include Nike's Just Do It campaign or I'm Loving It by McDonald's. There should be some creative concept in advertising appeal which will guide the choices of specific buying behavior of consumer. Advertising appeals have three characteristics, which is meaningful, where they should point out the benefit that make the product more desirable or interesting to consumer. Second is appeal must be believable, where consumer must believe that the product or service will deliver the promised benefit. And the third one is distinctive, where they should tell how the product is better than the competing brands. Next. The fourth one is messages education. Education refers to the message approach that will be used to present the advertising appeals or communicate the brand. There are 9 different education styles, which is the first one is slice of life, lifestyle, fantasy, mood or image, musical, personality symbol, technology knowledge, survey or scientific evidence, and testimonial evidence or endorsement. Overall, being creative is very important, but before one can be creative in the right direction, the purpose of the campaign and the target audience needs to be determined. From there, an appropriate type of advertising appeal and education style will provide creative direction. The funniest message in the world may not have the effect desired if it does not evoke the right emotional recognition of a need and appeals to the person who sees the advertisement. The last one is consumer-generated content. Companies urge their customers to create content for their marketing campaign or to review their product via blogs, articles, and other mediums. Consumer engagement content includes social media posts, sharing, and tagging. For example, Apple had started a challenge to create awareness of the stunning camera of the iPhone. In this challenge, Apple invited its iPhone users to capture awesome photo and upload it on Instagram or Twitter with the hashtag shoot on iPhone. Through the campaign, Apple showed its camera quality and build trust with other consumers, and after sometimes it becomes a worldwide movement in itself. That's all for me.
So after creating advertising and brand content, you need to select advertising media. Basically, in select advertising media, there are 4 steps. First, define reach, frequency, impact, and also engagement. Second, choose among major media type. The third one, selecting specific media vehicle. And then the last step, decide on media timing. So first, we go to determine reach, frequency, impact, and engagement. In order to achieve advertising objective, marketer needs to determine the reach, frequency, impact, and engagement that they need. So reach is the number of individual in a target market who exposed to the advertisement, and frequency is how often the message is exposed to the individual in the target market, and impact is like what kind of impact that marketing want from the message and advertisement that they shown. And as for the engagement, it's evaluate how attentive a student audience read, watch, and listen to the particular media vehicle. So the second step is choosing major media type. Basically, there are 7 media type, which is television, direct mail, newspaper, magazine, outdoor radio, digital, mobile, and also social media. So in order to choose the media types that marketer want to use in their advertisement, they need to figure out the profile of each media type. So the profile here refer to the advantages and also limitations of the media types, because each media types, they have different advantages and also different limitation as they have different features. So the third step is select specific media vehicle. What is media vehicle? Media vehicle is the specific medium where your message or advertisement is placed. So for example, the media type is radio, but the media vehicle is the particular local radio stations. And how marketers select the media vehicle is first by calculating the out 1,000 people. So they also need to consider the cost for the advertisement production. Let's say if you advertise in this brand, in this magazine, what is the cost? And then this magazine, what is the cost? And last one, they also need to consider the cost of media must balance against the media effectiveness factor. So basically, there are 3 media effectiveness factor: audience quality, audience engagement, and also editorial quality. So the last step is the deciding on media timing. So decide on media timing for a maximum market response is essential. So marketers or companies, they schedule their advertising over a certain period of time. So as for the time decision, some company they want to follow seasonal time, or some is a post-seasonal pattern. But most company actually go for seasonal time, such as like Father's Day, Mother's Day, or any other celebration. They need to consider the duration, like how much to advertise the advertisement. But nowadays, due to the existence of social and online thing, some of the advertisement actually respond to the events in real time. For example, in Grammy 2014 Grammy Awards, RB, one of the brand, tweet to the American singer like, "Hi Pharrell, can we have our hat back?" Because at that time, the American singer wearing a hat that resembled to the logo of their brand. So the tweet went viral, and then the next day, many people know about their brand. So that's all under selecting a specific media.
Now, I will continue about evaluating advertising effectiveness and return on advertising investment. First, return on advertising investment. The advertising investment net return divided by the advertising investment cost. Measuring the effectiveness of advertising and the net return on investment has become a hot issue for most companies. Next. Communication effect. The communication effects of advertising or advertising campaigns are measured to see if the advertising media are effectively communicating the advertising message. Individual advertisement can be tested either before or after they are broadcast. After advertising is run, the advertiser can measure how the advertising affects consumer recall or product awareness, engagement, knowledge, and preference. Third, the sale and profit effects. Comparing past sale and profit effect of advertising is a good way to measure the effect of advertising on sale and profit. With previous advertising expenditure, sale and earnings will increase. For example, to test the effect of different advertising spending level, Coca-Cola could vary the amount it spent on advertising in different market area and measure the difference in the resulting sale and profit level. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, I will continue other advertising considerations. Next. In developing advertising strategies and programs, the company must address two additional questions. First, how will the company organize its advertising function? Who will perform which advertising tasks? Second, how will the company adapt its advertising strategies and programs to the complexities of international markets? Next. Organizing for advertising. Different companies organize in different ways to handle advertising. In small companies, advertising might be handled by someone in the sales department. Large companies have advertising departments whose job is to set the advertising budget, work with the ad agency, and handle other advertising not done by the agency. However, much large companies use outside advertising agency because they offer several advantages. Agency also bring an outside point of view to solving the company's problem, along with lot of experience from working with different clients and situations. Next, international advertising. International advertisers face many complexities not encountered by domestic advertisers. The most basic issue concerns the degree to which global advertising should be adapted to the unique characteristics of various country markets. Some advertising have attempted to support their global brands with highly standard worldwide advertising with campaigns that work as well in Bangkok as they do in Baltimore. For example, McDonald's unified its creative element and brand presentation under the familiar I Am Loving It term with all its 100 plus markets worldwide. Visa also coordinates worldwide advertising for its debit and credit card under the More People Go with Visa creative platform, which works as well in Korea as it does in the United States of Brazil. Next. The largest of these mega group WPP includes several large advertising PR and promotion agencies with combined worldwide revenue of more than 60 billions. Some agencies are huge. The largest US agency, BBDO Worldwide, has annual gross US revenue of 495 million US dollar. In recent years, many agencies have grown by gobbling up other agencies. That's all. Thank you.
Now I would like to present the public relations. So what is public relations? Basically, the public relation is a series of activities that involving building and maintaining good relationship with important parties. It can help reduce the negative effect of unfavorable rumors, such as rumor stories or events, through the building and maintaining the good business image and reputation. Next. So there are 6 functions of public relations. So the first one is public relations or press agency. Secondly, brands, products and brand publicity. Third, public affairs. Fourth, lobbying. Fifth, investor relation. And finally, development. Basically, the public relation has few benefits. For example, by building and maintaining good relationship with important parties such as clients, customers, shareholders, and government officials, and you can help also indirectly promote products or services by providing the news or media agency with newsworthy information. Okay, that's all for my part. Moving on to the next part.
So I'll be presenting about the role and impact of public relations. Next. In this topic, I will cover 3 main points. First is lower cost than advertising. Second, has power to engage consumer in the brand story. And third is stronger impact on public awareness. Next. Public relation has a lower cost than advertising. Why is it as a lower cost? Public relation is not paid. The main objective of public relation is to try and convince a third party, such as a journalist, influencers, and so on. Besides, public relation doesn't have to put out more marketing and advertising campaigns to sell product or service, but rather about creating awareness. In addition, public relation content has credibility. Public relation message shared by reliable third party is more likely to be persuasive than advertising. For example, Burger King. The fight between Manny Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather was a commercial free pay-per-view event in Las Vegas 2015. The King, the mascot of Burger King, appeared as a part of Mayweather's entourage during the workout. Prior to the victory, it caused quite a stir. In addition, the King appearance on Facebook and Twitter generated a big spiral for the Burger chain. Over and above all 4.4 million viewers who viewed the fight live worldwide, Burger King paid an estimated $1 million to Mayweather, but it was a small fraction of the $5 million company spending on single Super Bowl ad in 30 seconds. Okay, next. Public relation has a power engage consumer in the brand story. How? By creating relevant marketing content that draws consumers to brand rather than pushing messages out. And interesting brand stories, event videos, or other content can be picked up by different media or shared virally by consumers. Engaging with people that consume your brand on a social basis is a good way of building a relationship. For instance, a publication of Facebook Paris support profile picture. Okay, next. Okay, my last point is stronger impact on public awareness. A campaign by PR has a clear objective, which is campaign is one of the effective tool of public relation, raising awareness of product, second, reaching a larger audience, and third is improving the brand reputation. By creative campaign, make consumer aware of their brands, product, and those product features. For example, the campaign of Google Fights by Google. Okay, even publication occasionally described as structural marketing, we can deny the power and benefits of using publication. Thank you. That's all from me.
Now we proceed with the major public relations tools. So there are 7 of them, which is the first one is social media. Okay, this is due the internet has become a more crucial medium for the public relations. Website, blogs, and social media such as Facebook and Twitter provide more effective means to reach out more people than any public relations tools. The second one is audiovisual material, which is prepared for use by television stations. The typical video news release runs about 90 seconds and can be used to highlight some important features of the products. These are called infocommercials. The third one is news. The main purpose of news is to identify or generate the positive news about the company. News might arise spontaneously as a result of business activity, or the public relations team can suggest events or activities that generate positive news about the company. The fourth one is the special events, is to draw attention to a new products or other company. News conference, speeches, brand tours, and sponsorships are some examples of the special events that can be held by the company. The fifth one is the written materials, which is the published materials to reach and influence their target market, such as annual reports, brochures, and also newsletter. Last but not least is the corporate identity, is to create the corporate identity that public immediately recognize. Stationaries, brochures, signs, and also like uniform are some example of the corporate identity. The final one is the public relations activities, is to increase trust by contributing money and trying to public service, which is common in the public service activities. I think that's all from us. Thank you.